Okay guys, so today we're going to be digitizing this custom 5x7 embroidery file. Well, it's not an embroidery file yet. Right now, it's literally just a PNG image. We're just going to start by literally copying and pasting this image, and I'm going to bring it over to Canva. I love Canva so much. I use it to create specific dimension documents. So if I'm using a 5x7 hoop, I love to do the 5x7 dimensions inside of Canva. If I'm using the 4x4 hoop or I want something smaller, I'll do that. If I'm doing a design that is meant to be on a hat and it needs to be like 2 inches, I go here and underneath the units, I'll click on inches and specify exactly what I want it to be. So we're gonna paste it onto the design. And all of this on the bottom, everything, we don't need that. So I'm just going to use the toggle pieces on the side, and I'm going to go upwards and to the left to remove those pieces that I do not need. So now I am basically going to enlarge this design to fit this entire 5x7 document, because remember, this is the size of the hoop. So whatever is going to be in the white space is going to be in the hoop. So now that we have it as large as it can be, now it's time to save the design to your computer so you can bring it into the software and turn it into an embroidery file. From there, you're just going to click on share, and now it's time to download it. So you're going to find the download tab and click on that as well. And so now it's time to figure out what file type you want. I personally use PNG or SVGs. I noticed that Hatch does not let you bring SVG files into the software, so usually I do PNG. And I can do transparent background if I want, but if you have the free version, do not even worry. You don't even need to worry about that. So now we're going to click on download, and it's going to save to your laptop. And from here, you're going to go straight into the software. So once you have the software loaded, you're going to find the image and you're going to basically just drag it into the gray area of the software, and you're going to see that it's basically going to just appear in the middle there. So the first thing you want to make sure that's happening is that the image is clicked onto. So if you click on the gray space over here, it's not grabbed. So if you click on certain tabs, certain things are grayed out. So if you notice that certain functions are grayed out and you're wondering why that may be, try to click on the image and some things may appear. So we're going to start off by showing you what the auto digitize instant embroidery function does. That is literally just going to digitize it without any input from your part whatsoever. It never does it well. It's always going to look a hot mess. So in this case scenario, I definitely would not recommend it. As you can see, there's a lot of inconsistencies. There's colors that have been picked up that are just not necessary. We don't need the gray there at all. So you could delete it and leave the black, but even the E here is not exactly how I would want it to be. It doesn't look right. The edges on the only are very rigid. It just doesn't look good. So basically, that function is no good. We're not going to use that one. So you can really just delete the color. And make sure you click back on the image, and that's how you get that to reappear. I'm going to show you the second tab. So now the difference between the first one and the second one is it does the same exact thing, but you get to choose the colors that it'll digitize for you. So my issue with the first one was that it digitized this gray color here, which we did not need because it's literally just black. So basically I'm going to go down. I'm going to reduce the colors from 3 to 2. And there we have it. So now we have the black. And if you want to zoom in, you are more than welcome to do that. That's very handy and very detailed designs. So now we're just going to press OK. And it's going to pop up this menu that is going to allow us to digitize certain parts of the design. So it is detecting the color black and is also detecting the color white. So if I click on the color white and press fill or details, it is going to digitize the background. But in this instance, I don't want the background digitized. So for that reason, I'm going to click omit. For the black thread, you don't want to click omit because you want that thread to be there. You can click on fill or you can click on details. In my personal opinion, I've never noticed a difference. It's completely personal choice. So here we go. Now, on this side of the screen, you don't need to do anything. I do not do anything on this side of the screen, mainly because I've never even attempted to, and I've had good results. So maybe it would be nice to check out what this is. But if you're really just watching to see what I do to use the software, this is what I do. So I don't mess with anything over here. I literally just ignore it and I only focus on the colors over here, and I do fill, details, or omit. So here we go. Now it's time to press OK and it will digitize it for us. And it does look a little bit better, I must say. The first thing I noticed is that the E is full rather than split down the middle, how it was before, which I appreciate. Of course, the stitching is a little bit off and different in some areas, so you can change that back to satin if you'd like, or you can make it all to Tommy. It's completely up to you. Completely. So, and I'm also noticing that some of these stars are digitized a little bit weird. So the ones that I don't like, I'm just going to delete them because that's what you can do. And I like the bigger one, so I'm going to duplicate it. The duplicating button is literally my best friend. I use it all the time. It saves a lot of time and it's just super convenient and it's just the best. Literally the best. I use it for letters. I use it for instances like this. If things are meant to look a certain way and it's not working out and I see another one that is working out, I just duplicate it. Makes my life a little bit easier. So you can literally see, for whatever reason, the thread decided to be a little bit wonky there. But that's okay, because guess what? We can delete it. And actually, because it's the exact same pattern of 3 and it's the exact same sizing, we can grab all of the stars over here and duplicate them at the exact same time and drag them all over here. Isn't that amazing? And while they're all still grabbed, I'm going to go ahead and adjust the colors because I just remembered that the customer that ordered this wanted to change the color of the stars to yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So you just click on the part that you want to change and you can go down here and click on the colors that are down here, or you can go onto the mass part here and scroll through all of the color options. I mean, it gets pretty extensive. And then she also wanted me to make only one into a purple color. So that is how we do that. Oh my lord. Okay, I'm going to go in and just adjust a couple of the notes. It gets a bit tedious, but it does allow for things to stitch out a bit smoother, which is ultimately the goal here. So I'm just going to do that a little bit in some places. Okay, so here we have the final project of the 5x7 custom design file. Kindle is my only one with stars on the left and the right hand side. I think it's quite adorable, I must say. So the final thing that we're going to do here is just make sure that the design itself does indeed fit in your hoop. So we went ahead and made sure that it fit close enough inside of Canva, making sure that the document was 5x7. But before you save the file, it doesn't hurt to just double check the width and the height and ensure that it does fit your hoop, because you don't want all your hard work to go to waste after doing all this and it doesn't even fit. So, okay, so 5x7, 7 is the width, 5 is the height. So we can start at the height We don't want to exceed 5. So normally what I like to do is 4.850, and that is pretty good. If you do 4.9, sometimes the machine is like, nope, that's too close to 5. You got to make it just a little bit smaller. So 4.850 is usually what I go. That's the sweet spot right there. And the width automatically goes to 5.059. Now, the width of the hoop is 7, right? So I'm sure you're thinking like, okay, so can we just put the width as 6.850 then? We could, right? But the height is now exceeded 5. Okay, so we have the height as 4.850 now and the width as 5 inches. That works. Let's go to the preview and see what we're working with here. I think it does look really awesome, I must say. And here's the sequence over here on the side. If you want things to stitch out differently, there are some arrows down here that you can play with and move around the sequence. It's totally up to you. That's the best thing about the software. Now it's time to save it to the laptop. This is literally the last thing. After you save it to the laptop, then all you have to do is bring the file to the machine and stitch it out. We're just gonna call it Kindle only 1. That's it. I think that'll work. And we're gonna go ahead and make sure we specify that it's a 5x7 size, because we don't want any confusion. And now it's time to see what type of file we need for the machine. Every embroidery machine requires a different file type. Fun fact. But this customer has confirmed that they need a PES. So we're going to make sure we save it as a PES file and click save. It saves straight to the laptop. And to double check that it did save to the laptop, you just look at the top next to design library up here, and it does change the name from design 1 to the name that you save the file to be. And that is it. That is all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something new, and I hope to see you in the next one, because I plan to start posting a little bit more frequently. Take care.